So sometimes in JavaScript, you might have an object like this, and you need to do some processing on some properties of that object that may or may not exist at runtime. So for an example, let's say you had some code that needs to loop through all the hobbies and maybe do something with them. I could say user.hobbies.forEach and just go ahead and print them out. And notice that those print out down here. But unfortunately, sometimes in JavaScript, we have objects that might have undefined or null properties. So if I were to comment this out and run this again, notice that it actually crashes because there is no way to loop over a undefined object. So a cool little trick you can use is something called optional chaining, where you take the property that you think may or may not exist, and you can simply just put a question mark after it so that your code won't actually crash or run this function if hobbies doesn't exist. So now when I run it, notice that nothing happens, my application doesn't crash, everything works as normal. And you can do this optional chaining on anything. So for an example, I could do it on subscriptions too. Let's say you had some code that needs to print out the date. So again, we can use optional chaining here to basically allow the computer to not crash if this thing is not defined. And notice that it just prints out undefined down here.